If you are storing date-based records in your SharePoint like task due dates, appointments, or leave requests, you might struggle to display them in an intuitive way, because a table or gallery isn't always the best solution when you are trying to show the things by day, week, or month. What if you could display your SharePoint list data in an interactive calendar where users can click the date and see the respective data instantly? That's what we will build today. So in Power Apps, we don't usually get the calendar and the out-of-box functionality. So if we want to build a calendar from scratch, we need to define the multiple galleries and set the logics for our first day of the month, last day of the month, previous and next month logic. So instead of writing all this logics, we will create a calendar control in 5 seconds. Now, before moving further, let me tell you what are the things we are going to cover in this video. In this video, we will create a calendar control in our Power Apps, and then we will bind our SharePoint list data in our calendar control. And after that, we will bind a form with our calendar. So first, in our Power Apps, we will create a blank application. So first, we will need to create a calendar. So for creating a calendar, we will simply click on New Screen. Here we will select this calendar template. Now it's asking for the Outlook permission. Here we will click on Allow Access and click on Allow. In the data, we need to remove the connection again. We will delete the screen. In the new screen, we will select the calendar again. Here is our calendar screen. Now we will click on Preview, and after that, we will click this calendar. So as you can see, our calendar is being displayed. And here we can use the next and previous. And this is our current date. And this is our current month. And here is our previous and next month. Now, on our calendar control, we will go to our icon. And here you can see the onSelect property. Here we have our variable, date selected, which is our current date, the first day of month. And next is our formula. Similarly here, first day in view. Here you can see next, we have our last day of month. And beside is the formula for that. And for our calendar, here we have our month day gallery. And above that is our weekday gallery. And on the top of it, here we have our label and we have our previous and next month icons. Now to use that, we will simply click on Control, select them, click on Copy, and we will click on Paste here. After pasting, we will drag it here. Now, after taking this calendar, we need to do one more thing, which is go to this icon and we will copy these variables. And in our Screen 1 on Visible, we will paste our variables also here. Also in our calendar here, in the visible property, we have this variable, calendar visible. We will copy this and move back to our Screen 1. Here, we will set this variable to true. Now we have taken all the variables here and the calendar, which we needed. Now we will go in our Screen 3 and we will simply delete this screen because we don't need this. So we will select Delete. Now we're getting some errors here, so we will fix that. Here is our collection. We will remove the collection. Similarly, in our next month, remove the collection. Here, for the circle error, we will simply comment this now. This is our calendar control. We can store it as a component and use it anywhere we want. Also, we have the calendar properties. This is our month day gallery. It is responsive, so when we will increase the size, it will adjust automatically. Now, here we can set the font size. So here, for our weekdays, we will also set the font size to 17. And now we need to adjust the size. So we will click on pencil icon and we will increase the size here like this. After that, here is our label. We can set it like here. And this is how we can use our calendar control. Now, we will bind it in our gallery. So for binding it with the gallery, we will place it on one side like this. Also, here the items are calendar's weekday is short. Also, here we have the weekday is short. We can change it from short to long. Let me fix the formula here, and done. Also, we will reduce the width. Similarly, here, we will reduce the size of our gallery. And now it's, let me fix it a little bit more. Increase a little bit, and done. We will increase this a little more, and done. Now we need to display our gallery here. First, adjust this. So here in our SharePoint, we have our list named Incidents, so we will display this with the help of our calendar control. For that, here we will take a gallery. We will place it here. In the data section, we will search SharePoint. We will select our SharePoint site, then our list, which is incidents. Here, we have column title, incident date, and severity. So we will go here, change the layout, title, and subtitle. In the subtitle, we will write severity.value. Now, in the calendar, we need to show these incident dates. So for that, we will simply click here, and in the circle, in the visible property, we will write not as blank lookup incidents, where incident date is equal to. Next, we need to set the date formula. So here in the title, we will select this, go back in our formula, then we'll close the bracket, and here, select title and close. Now, as you can see, we have dots below our 12, 18, and 16. And if we check and verify this in our SharePoint list, here we have 0316, 0312, and 0318, which is matching our records in SharePoint list. Also, we can set the color of our circle. Here, we can change the fill to any color we want. Also, we need to filter our gallery according to the date selected. So here, we have a variable named date selected. So we will go in our items, we will add filter incidents where incident date, filter incidents where incident date is equal to date selected. Now we will check. So we'll click on 12. And as you can see, the record where our incident date is 12 is being displayed. Same for our 18 and 16. Let me command this, and after commanding, we will set the visibility to false. Now, first, we will create another screen. Here we will take our incident form, and we will take a button here for submit. The button text will be submit. In the advance, we will write submit form, then our form name, which is form 1. Now, in our form properties, on success, we will notify record updated. Notification type will be .success. Duration will be 1000 milliseconds. And after that, we will navigate to our screen 1. Let me change the screen name. This will be form screen. Here in the screen 1, first, we will increase the width of our calendar. Also, we will increase the height of our date, increase the height of our gallery. Circle, we'll place it here. Then we will adjust the arrow. The label edit, we will set its width to full and its sec. Now, we will add a button for navigating to the form screen. So here, first, we will add another vertical gallery. Select our incidents. Now, in our gallery, we will remove this, and in our gallery, we will add button. Here, the data source will be incidents, and we will add button. We will adjust the size of our button. Now for the button here in our gallery, we will add the filter. Filter incidents. Here, our incident date. Let me correct the filter spelling again. Filter incident date is equal to, then we need to select the title date. So here, we will select this, paste here. We will close the filter condition. So as you can see, on only those dates, the button is showing on which dates our incident record is created. So now in our button, we will change the button text. So here we will write this item.title, and we will reduce the text size, set it to 10. Also our gallery here, you can see we have set it. So on the on select, we will create a variable, which will be set where item, which will be this item. Then we will navigate to our form screen. Here, form screen. And going back to our form screen, in the form properties, the form mode will be added, and the item will be lookup incidents ID is equal to where item.id. Here, after submitting, on success, it will be navigated to the screen 1. So we will test this. Click on preview. Here, we will select the record of date 16. Here, we will change the date to 17. Click on OK. Click on submit. And as you can see, we have updated the date. And in the calendar, the date is also updated. Now we have another column, which is severity. So we want to set the color code of our button according to our severity. So in the button, we will select the fill property. Here, in the fill, we will write switch this item .severity.value.value. If the severity is low, then the color will be color.green. If the severity is medium, then the color will be color.yellow. If the severity is high, color will be color.dark red. So there is some mistake in the formula. Severity is a choice type column, so it will be .value. Now, we are not facing any kind of error here. And if we click preview here, you can see color has been changed. Also, why we can adjust the hover color also, so you can do this in the hover colors property. Here, you can set. Let me go to the button again. In the hover color, you can set the color same as this one. So we will simply click on fill, copy this, go to hover, hover color, and paste. And if we click on preview, here, we can change the color. So this is how we can leverage the calendar control in our Power Apps. Also, we will adjust the circle a little bit more in the middle. So for the position, for the Y, we will set it to 7 and done. So this is how we can leverage the calendar control, bind it with our SharePoint list, and also with our form. So in this video, we learned how we can create a calendar control in our Power Apps. Then we bind our SharePoint list with the calendar control to display and filter record. And after that, we created another gallery in our calendar to bind our form. Thank you for choosing Know How Academy as your IT source. We are always there to help you navigate through the tech world. It's been a pleasure sharing this information with you. So stay curious and keep learning.